So our purpose really is to show that when you come here to the University of Oregon, that you will have a strong sense of community. We were one of the first student organizations, as well as one of the organizations that puts on the largest student-led event here on campus.
But the POW has been happening since 1969, and it's the only Oregon Heritage event that the University of Oregon even has. It's a serious thing, and not being able to have funding to support such a important thing that's directly underneath of NASU, especially because there's less than 1% of Native students on the UO campus.
Powwow attracts a lot of folks, and that like promotes the university. If you're going to attract and want Native students to stay and come to the school, you got to do a better job at making sure that's backed up by support.
These student orgs prepare for their events ahead of time. However, the process or the system that ASUO has right now isn't working.
Their whole point is to support student groups on campus, but there has been large lack of that.
What directly impacted NASU was that our students in our leadership positions could no longer be there because it was stripping them away of being able to go to school.
We were in full survival mode, and we had tried to let ASUO know that was our reality. And I think this is just kind of like one of those things that like there's not a cultural understanding of how and what our events are, how important they are to us. There should be more of a understanding and I think back support. And I think this is why we're so like upset about it, is because education systems in the first place were caused to assimilate.
We're understanding that the people who made those, as ASUO, made those budget cuts to our group personally, they're not there now, but they don't want to see the same thing for us, is that it's not our leadership. There's nobody who was in that leadership from last year to this year.
Towards the end of fall term, I believe week 7, I met with the entire ASUO Senate, and I pretty much told them the same thing, that we just had a breakdown, that what was required of us was just really unrealistic. What they're asking for us to do, it's not meeting halfway. It's literally, you need to put on these events with half your budget, and you also need to not rely on us, and you need to fundraise. Even then, that's really, really ugly, because this group is meant to serve us student groups.
Since NASU put out a post that was made by 2 of our members talking about the budget cut and how it negatively impacts us.
Once the budget hearing starts, the room gets packed.
And I could see that some of the ASUO officers were uncomfortable. Imagine how we feel every day. That's our reality every day, you know? So for an hour for y'all to feel uncomfortable, I was like, no, we need to let them know that if students and Indigenous students can take up space here and that they don't have to apologize or feel bad for that.
I definitely got emotional. Just to see that amount of support for NASU was like incredible.
We need the budget in order to not only honor our past, but to ensure the success of Native students for the future.
I don't know what came over me. I just was very passionate. I was very like, this is wrong. Like, I told them, like, if you cut this budget, you are spitting in our elders' faces.
I mean, that put pressure on them to at least reinstate a powwow budget, but as NASU in general, we're looking more as a wide perspective of what we're doing, how's it going to affect the next group.
They need to understand that there is a Native community that is thriving and wants to be heard and seen. We're Native 24/7. We're not 8 to 5. We don't turn that off. And our only hope as the co-directors this year is just to make sure the students who attend U of O that are Native just feel seen and that they're safe.